This is the Convene podcast. My name is Maggie, digital media editor of Convene. 15 years ago, she coached speakers for the first major TEDx event. Hayley Foster has since built that initial experience into a successful business, helping speakers to focus on what makes their message unique and their presentation authentic. You'll also hear about TED's Chief Program and Strategy Officer on how TED and the business events industry has evolved post-COVID. These stories are part of the March-April Convene cover and CMP series on speaker coaching, written and read by Michelle Russell, editor-in-chief of Convene.
Hayley Foster's husband, Steve Kraft, was a TEDster, someone who followed TED online in the early days, Foster said. At first, Foster, a professional speaker herself, didn't share his enthusiasm for TED Talks, which started becoming available online in 2007. The speakers were primarily men, and their topics not personally appealing to her, she said. But TED eventually began featuring world-renowned experts in every field who were giving the talk of their life in 18, 12, or 6 minutes, she said. And by 2009, TED was offering independent licenses for anyone who wanted to try to organize a TEDx event. Foster's husband, who at that time was Deputy Director of Strategic Relationships at NASA Langley Research Center, decided that NASA should do a TEDx NASA event. NASA is synonymous with innovation and thought leadership, he reasoned, and TEDx is about ideas worth spreading. Foster said her husband thought the event could leverage the strength of both organizations. Foster jumped in to help pull the event together, drawing in people who were non-science speakers, musicians, artists, engineers, authors, and visionaries, and figuring out a way to apply the coaching she had done as a professional speaker for beginning professional speakers and tailoring that to short talks. It was the early days of TEDx. We were building the airplane while flying it, Foster told Convene on a recent video call. TEDx NASA became the first ever large-scale TEDx event, Foster said, held in Newport News, Virginia in 2009 and attracting 1,450 in-person attendees and 78,000 online participants from more than 10 countries. Today, people clamor to get on a TEDx stage, but at the time, TEDx was an unknown, and speakers asked Foster, "Why would I fly across the country and donate 2 days of time to speak for 6 minutes for free?" That mindset changed as TEDx events flourished. To date, more than 13,000 TEDx events have been held in 150 countries. And speakers realized how that short time on stage reaped big dividends. Foster became a designated TEDx speaker coach, set up a thriving coaching business as the short talk expert, and authored a book, Don't Tank Your TED Talk, 12 Mistakes Professional Speakers Make. TED, she said, has permeated popular culture and raised the bar on what the public expects from speakers. And while short TED-style talks have become a popular session format of all kinds of conferences, it's a bit of a misnomer to call them that. Not all short talks are TED-style talks, Foster said. Short talks are those given in under 20 minutes, communicating a single new idea worth spreading in that amount of time, she said. That's a TED Talk. Foster has developed a core message coaching process with her clients around the TED Talk approach. If you're going to get the message you're meant to share distilled down to your original idea for your talk, there's a lot of work that has to be done, she said. The foundation of that work is internal and a coaching experience. I reach into people and I snatch out their original idea and I help them craft and amplify it, she told Convene. Over the course of a 4-month coaching contract with a speaker, Foster may spend 6 weeks on that alone before they even consider the talk's content, visuals, delivery, and message design. Remember, We're looking for your original idea from you, who you are, she said. Everything you know, everything you feel, all of your experiences. That's the lens through which you let your audience see the information. Foster said that you can Google the answer to anything, but it doesn't help you make sense of the results. It is a person who offers their perspective that allows you to make sense of and integrate that information. Foster encourages clients to see themselves as others see them, asking them, how would you be described by a colleague, friend, someone who has just met you, someone who's known you your whole life? What is the difference you want to make that makes you different from everyone else? That's because the most important element of a talk, she said, is authenticity. Foster vets potential clients with an intensive initial phone call, audio only. It's better when it's blind, she explained, because people tend to worry about what I think of them. She is particular about whom she takes on as a client, only coaching people whose ideas I agree with, she said, and who are looking to make the world a better place. Don't do this. True to her craft, Foster has distilled 12 common mistakes speakers make in her book, Don't Tank Your TED Talk. Here are 4, excerpted from the book. Not starting strong. The best TED and TEDx talks don't follow a specific formula. They are wildly diverse in topic and aim to break the complicated into manageable bite-sized pieces in a remarkably short time span. There are many approaches to delivery, but one thing must happen in every case. Draw the audience's attention from the beginning. You can show an astounding photo, share something surprising or counterintuitive, or make an engaging comment. A talk about self-help might start with radical self-disclosure. A talk about space exploration might introduce what seems like outrageous facts, which are later proven in the 15 minutes that follow. Employing your usual methods. A serious mistake professional speakers make is stubbornly sticking to usual methods of talk construction instead of acknowledging the distinction between a short and a TED-style talk. A short talk refers only to the duration of the talk. Examples include a CEO communicating a vision to the board of directors and a quick demonstration of a new product being brought to market. TED Talks include compelling stories, fascinating research, demonstrations of cool, cutting-edge technologies, innovative art, music, and dance, and a call to action. These talks deliver a unique, new idea, passionately communicated in the TED style. Please understand that cramming 16 points into a 12-minute talk is the wrong strategy for this genre. Simply shortening the perfect keynote will not make a terrific TED-style talk. While a compelling, content-rich talk is often the goal, to attain it, you must set aside what you know and start with who you are. Boring visuals. The purpose for visuals is to enhance understanding of the core idea, not to keep your place in the presentation. The guideline I give is if you can convey information more efficiently, more interestingly in a visual, then use it. If it would take you 3 minutes to explain something a viewer could understand from a chart in 20 seconds, by all means, create the chart. Be advised, it has to be a well-constructed, interesting chart. Visual stimulation tends to override auditory input. When people are looking or reading, it turns down the volume on the talk you are delivering. Take great care with the choice and placement of any visuals to be included. Being the star of the talk. Sounds harsh, I know, but it's true. The talk is not about you. A key reason that speaking professionals have been unpopular with TED and TEDx organizers is many have egos that may eclipse the core message. Yes, your personality belongs in the mix, but as the catalyst for the message, not the main attraction. You are there to serve the talk, rather than delivering a talk that serves you. Connecting with the audience. TED's Chief Program and Strategy Officer on how the organization works to bring out the best in its speakers to touch the audience. The first TED conference that Monique Ruff-Bell attended was as an employee when she joined TED conferences in 2022 as head of events. One of the things that I was really blown away by, she told Convene, is how interested I was in things that I never thought I would be interested in, like underwater mammals. Ruff-Bell, who was recently promoted to Chief Program and Strategy Officer, said that she was drawn to whatever the topic the speaker was sharing because of their ability to connect in such a humanistic way and in a storytelling way. It validated me as a human being. Having that kind of effect on your audience, Ruff-Bell said, takes months of preparation. When you're putting in a lot of content sessions together for a conference or a trade show, you're on a conveyor belt of making sure you just have enough to fill the amount of programming for your schedule grid. But TED is very different, she said. The themes for the event are critical, as are the speakers, for whom the stakes are high. Speaking on a TED stage can really change your life, Ruff-Bell said. TED goes to great lengths to make sure they draw out the best in the speaker to tell a story that connects to the audience. When Ruff-Bell was a content director for more traditional conferences, the speaker prep went like this. You would confirm this panel, this person. You would have a call either with the comms for that person or with that person in the panel. You would have them send a presentation. You might have 3 touch points, if that much, with the speaker to just feel like you were comfortable with what they were going to speak about. You trusted that they were going to come back to the table with the goods. With TED, it's not about trust. It's about, we need you to go on this journey with you to make sure you deliver the best possible talk that represents yourself, represents your topic, and connects with our audience. That's going to take time, even if you consider yourself one of the best speakers in your industry on your topic. All that matters in the moment for speakers is to get the audience to care about what they care about, she said. To put the language together to do that, to make you feel confident about delivering an 18-minute talk with nothing in your hands or a teleprompter to help you with, that takes time. Speakers who specialize in different sectors like art, science, and tech work with TED curators who are knowledgeable in their subject area, Ruff-Bell said. Without giving too much away of the secret sauce of how to give a TED Talk, she said, it's really about working with the speaker in a way that suits them. How do you get the best out of them? If you're a manager managing 12 people on your team, the way I speak to one person to get the best out of them is going to be way different than how I speak to another person. It is really like doing relationship building with these speakers to help them craft a short, punchy presentation on their idea worth spreading. Ideas worth spreading is the slogan of TED Talks. To ensure that they don't go into ego and just speak like they're just this knowledge center, so that it's really about storytelling, she said, it takes a lot of coaching and a lot of time to get speakers to focus on their one big idea and to stay on that one big idea. Once on site at the TED conference, speakers rehearse several times at a minimum. Repetitiveness is the key to understanding and really embodying your talk, Ruff-Bell said. We create these processes for you to do all of that. That includes coaching on effective techniques like pacing, letting something land with the audience, and taking pauses. Despite all this prep work, however, speakers occasionally lose their place in their talk. It's so beautiful to see the audience encourage them to continue and to clap as if to say, don't worry, keep going. That's a beautiful experience to be in that room, she said. You're so nervous to give your talk, but you have this whole room of 2,000 people just wanting to get the best out of you and who want you to have a great experience.
If you enjoyed this episode, do give us a 5-star review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. For more industry insights, visit pcma.org/convene. Until next time.